When we talk about education, when I first moved to England for my master's, something happened to me that I've never talked about publicly. My first exam, I got 45 over 100. I've never said this publicly before. When I went back to ask my professor what happened, I read this thing. I answered what you guys asked me to answer. I realized that what my professor was looking for was my ability to apply the learnings I had garnered from class into real-world concept. In the global space, critical thinking is a skill you must have. How do you develop critical thinking? It's looking at the challenge beyond the surface level. Dr. Miles Moreau explained how the education you and I currently experience in Africa was developed by the oppressor for the children of the oppressor. During the times of the slave trade, the oppressor's children were called masters from 3 years old. And so when you apply the learnings that we're getting, arithmetic, history, religion, when you add that to the software of being called a master, it makes the learning effective and work for them. But what the oppressor now went on to do was that they took that same education that was made for the oppressor's children and they were extending it to the oppressed. Now the children of the oppressed were sitting in the same classroom as the children of the oppressor, but the children of the oppressed didn't have the software that supported the learning for that education. If a child at 6 years old is called a master and the child of a slave is taking the same lesson, will the outcomes be the same? Of course not. And so that child already has a healthy self-concept about who they are, where they are going to. But the child of the slave was taking these lessons just so that they could be controlled by the oppressor. Countries like China, kids are thought about AI, artificial intelligence, its application, its ethics, its use in Chinese. But you have a 35-year-old man whose child cannot speak Yoruba, and we're proud that English is our first language. There is a problem.